Okay, another episode of Fact Only.
Yes, sir.
We're talking Big Brother Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Big Brother Nigeria, not Nigeria. That's what's happening right now. How many housemates do you know?
I know White Money. I know all the baddies.
Okay.
Oh, those girls are fine.
So we're talking about the music industry and Big Brother Nigeria.
Yeah.
How does the industry relate with Big Brother Nigeria? So you start.
The Nigerian music industry, there's some sort of synergy. Well, the first thing you're going to see is that music is a central part of Big Brother. This thing, Big Brother Nigeria, it's music, right? And then every Saturday they bring a new DJ to the house to play music for some of these people. And the best part of those, my favorite part of those Friday night parties is when you see some of these people in their house, when they play new music for them because they've been in their house for so long, they don't know what's trending. You play the new music for them and they are very, very happy. And then you see artists come to the eviction shows every other week to perform. And you also see that sometimes they bring artists into the house to visit some of the housemates. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens as well. And then you also see that some artists are like the face of certain brands during ad breaks on Big Brother, and ads and sponsorships that's central to Big Brother. That's where we are at this time.
Okay. What models do you think the industry can explore to take advantage of the huge platform that Big Brother Nigeria is?
First things first, I would like to go to the conversation of so a few months ago I tweeted something that Crayon had a song on his last EP called Jackpot. Moti Jackpot with featuring Bella Shmurda. That song is basically singing is I've hit the jackpot, right? So I tweeted that why is somebody not pitching this record to MultiChoice? All you have to do is very simple. Every time there is a game in the house, and on the final day when the final winner is announced, every time someone wins money or wins a gift or wins anything, let that song be the soundtrack to that, and watch what's going to happen to that song. Minus that, you're also getting royalty. You're getting publishing. You can get mechanical royalties depending on how you pitch it. Imagine what could happen. And then a friend of mine, shout out to Ayo of Turntable, he was having a conversation. He sent me a WhatsApp message some days ago. And he said that he would like to see artists do more than just that in the house. Like, do more than just going to perform, letting your music get played by the DJ. We have to see more. Why have we not seen better immersion and synergy between those two industries? Like, Big Brother is a reality show, it's a television show. Music is another industry. The collision of those industries could birth so many things. Like, look at Boomplay, for example. Boomplay is a sponsor on this show. They have slots. Like, within the first 2 days, you can literally see the number of downloads that they've seen. Like, you can see the direct conversion. It's literally working. I had a conversation with the CC of MultiChoice, and he was telling me about like some of the things that some brands have done over the past, like last year, the creative ways that they used. He talked about how, like an energy drink company, they, instead of just promoting or letting people drink their drinks on the show, what they did was they created shirts. They didn't put the brand in your face, whereas they found a way to plug their brand behind. So it led directly to that. Or maybe like a malaria drug company. They didn't push the drug. What they did was they pushed airtime to people. He told me that their sales went 400%. He had a 400% increase. That is crazy. Imagine what we could have if artists, if labels and streaming platforms and businesses and art and songs could get better placements. Like, in creative ways. A lot of people, like, it's not just about the DJ playing your songs in the house or during the Friday night party. You have to find a way for your song to be a centerfold of that show. That's what we need to talk about.
The problem is, and I'm looking for opinion here, is just that the people in the music industry just think their music will just go. They don't treat it like a product, like a company, like something like that. You know, why you mentioned Boomplay. Boomplay is a company. They're looking for conversions like that. That's what they're doing there. You know, why is people not educated enough in the industry to know that this is a product? This is like you're selling milk or sachet or malaria drugs or a streaming platform. Why don't they treat the music like that?
That's a very good question. I think the major problem is a lot of people, people are defined by the system. Like people are mad by the system. A lot of people that are doing anything in this country are not doing it because they are thinking about strategy. That's why they seek advice, because they can't think for themselves. Most of them are doing it to get out of something or to get to something. It's a problem because if you're only seeing a goal before you, what you're only seeing is people I just want to blow. If you ask the average Nigerian artist what you want to do, I want to blow. And right now, you don't even have to blow to make money. You have a ton of artists that are making healthy money. Look at AQ, making money, but they are not necessarily, they didn't blow. They are not whiskey, but they are making good money. They are good, right? So look at how these people, they can't see it because they don't get it. But that's why we keep telling some of them that you need people on your team. You need brand managers, you need advisors, you need business managers, you need a lawyer, you need people that can give you ideas, that know what to do, that know the right parts of the industry. Again, it's very hard to find some of those people. You have to do some of those things by yourself. That's why you need to educate yourself to know what the music is. A lot of people don't even understand the total complexity of royalties. So if you don't understand royalties, how can you then understand how can you understand branding? And how can you understand how to then push the music? Like Big Brother, for example, is not even just good to push music alone. There are ways for you to push a brand. Like, remember when Mike was talking about Joe Boy?
Yeah.
He was talking about Joe Boy. He was saying that you know the music, but you don't know the face. Like, Big Brother is a fantastic platform to push your face out. You just have to be creative with it. Like, the numbers on Big Brother, they are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Over 900 million votes last year. That is a lot of fan loyalty. You can literally track consumer behavior from there. Over 300 million viewers. That is crazy. Over about 100 million unique hits on their website because of Big Brother. This year now, they are not voting through telcos anymore. They are voting through their websites. Like, it means that they are owning all the entire flywheel and the network effect. So you can, if you are creative enough, you can push your brand to Big Brother. Imagine what it would be like if Ebuka is on the main stage, right? But instead of, before, you can pitch yourself to multi-choice. Okay, this is what you can get from it. This is how it's going to benefit you. For example, if you are like, say, Thames is buzzing right now. You can say, okay, instead of Thames just going there to perform, Essence with Wizkid, why can't Thames just go into the house instead of during the eviction show, instead of Ebuka being the first person to interview them, while they're coming out from the elevator, Thames is talking to somebody. Imagine what that could do. Like, that is brand awareness. It doesn't seem like much, but the amount of eyeballs and the way Thames is going to trend that day. Imagine Thames dressed so elegantly and doing some of those things. It doesn't have to be Thames. It has to be a way for people to get creative with using this platform called Big Brother. Like, look at what The Weeknd did during the Super Bowl. The Weeknd, he left all his revenue and even spent his money. Do you know what he used that to do? He used that to sell tickets for his next tour. Guess what? The Weeknd spent about 12 million. He's built to make at least 3 times that now. Like, he's guaranteed to make at least 3 times that because he stole tickets off of Super Bowl. Yeah. So it's about how you think about it. You have to think about it creatively and how you have to be able to maximize the platform called Big Brother.
Isn't it too expensive?
That's a good. Buying ad placements on Big Brother is, see, Big Brother slots are some of the most contested slots ever, right? But again, you don't have to advertise music. You just have to plug. Like, you can create an avenue, a unique avenue for Big Brother for multi-choice to even make money. Like, pitching is the way forward now. Like, artists need to not just see themselves as music makers anymore. They need to see themselves as influencers. You are an influencer, you are a brand. Your label needs to be able to understand that they have to pitch sometimes. Like, making money, like for a label, for example, it might be profitable. For a streaming platform, it might be profitable because they create a product. Music is more of a lifestyle. Products as like streaming platforms can also be lifestyle. Oh, yeah. They can also be an integral part of lifestyle. Yeah. But they are slightly different in terms of the offerings, in terms of what they mean to people, in terms of people will be more willing to buy a CD than they will be willing to pay for a streaming platform in the country. Yeah. Because consumer behavior is different. So you have to look at some of those things. It will pay a business to pay Big Brother for an ad slot, but it might not exactly pay an artist. because it doesn't make sense. Like you are not guaranteed to make money from anything. It's like seeing an artist say, okay, like you are promoting music on a good day anyway because you are plugging in, you are going on radio tours, money, like you are paying money for videos and some of those things. Those things require money, but then the money that is going to require for you to buy an art slot on Big Brother, you might never make that money on the song. You are probably never going to make it, because I was reading an article this morning about on Rolling Stone about Spotify. Like Spotify dished out like 5 billion to artists last year, to over 56,000 artists, and even if they break the money down, a lot of artists are still not going to make up to 10 million naira. So there is no way your label has not spent more than 10 million naira on you, about 50 million, at least 50 million naira on you. So there's no profit, basically. You are still running at a loss. So it doesn't make any sense. And guess what? If the Spotify bag is not going to be divided evenly between 56,000 artists, it's not going to work like that. So what artists need to do is, you need to get creative with it. You are not buying art slots. You need to be able to pitch more situations like, okay, look, here's what we want to do. Let me do my album listening party with you. Let me do my album launch during the Friday night show. Let there be a meet and greet. Let the housemates interview me. Make it an interactive session. I'm playing my music for them. The entire country is listening to my music through my listening party. We have to be able to think outside the box. Some of these things are like, away from that, you can also pitch multi-choice that, okay, my song is going to be played at this particular time because Friday night is crunch time. That's the slot that a lot of people want. So you are saying Friday night, my song must be played at least 3 times, and the DJ must slam it this. You are paying money for that. It's not going to be as much money as an ad placement. Yeah. At least not at the first instance. Yeah. But imagine the amount of ears that are listening to that song. People have to get creative. Like you can even give multi-choice ideas.
Who are the most people to blame in the industry for not exploring this thing?
I wouldn't say a lot of people are to blame. I just don't think people recognize the opportunity that is Big Brother. I don't think a lot of people understand. And even people that understand assume that it's going to require a ton of money. Yeah. That's the problem. There's a perception problem with it. And I think you don't have to go by the popular way to do it. You can go by another way entirely, like I said now. Like, people just need to understand how to go about things. You can do it differently. Look, for example, you can also make it so that you are not pitching to multi-choice directly. You are pitching to a brand, a drink brand. What the drink brand is going to just do is, maybe your music is going to be what they are going to be using during their ads. Like Abeg, for example, you are pitching to Abeg. Okay, let me partner with you. My song is going to be what you are going to be using to push your brand. Imagine what that could do. But then a lot of people also need to understand that you have to push the right type of music. You have to push the right type of brand to the right type of audience. Like daytime, you have to understand that the older people are going to be in the office. They might not be watching Big Brother. Nighttime, prime time, they might be at home. Drive time, they might be at home. They might be driving. Prime time, they might be at home. So you have to understand the dynamics of that. The people that are likely to be watching in the afternoon are likely to be young people who do not really have a job, or entertainment or journalists who have the screen in their offices that are watching it. So some of these things, you have to put them into consideration about how to do it. It's just about thinking outside of the box, basically. Okay. But for labels, there might not be profitability for them long term because of the amount of money. In terms of conversion, what is the use case? Like, what is the profit model? There's no profit model to it. You just have to think.
Streaming platforms can also take advantage.
Yeah.
How?
I think streaming is going good.
Boomplay is already doing that.
Boomplay is already doing it, yeah, but Boomplay has sponsors. But that's not the only way to do it. That shouldn't be the only way to do it. Imagine what could happen if, like, multi-choice, it's obvious that multi-choice is trying to create its own flywheel. So they are not going to use another streaming platform when they have the streaming platform. They're not going to use a mobile when they have DSTV mobile. They're not going to use anything when they could still use Showmax. So some of this, they're trying to create their own flywheel because it has been proven. Apple, Amazon, Transsion, they are proven that you can, with a product a line of products that are owned by you, you can create your own flywheel, and it's going to inform the success of the product that you're trying to push. Like, I read a report that said that Amazon Music was the most used, or the fastest rising streaming platform in the US in 2020. Why did it happen? Because you have an entire ecosystem. You are going to have to register for my streaming platform. You are going to have to do this. Then the payment is going to be easier because you probably have an Amazon subscription card. Some of these things. Look at Boomplay, for example. They come pre-installed on every Techno, Infinix, and Itel phones. And guess what? Only under 10% of this country uses Apple Music. About 60% of this country uses Transsion phones. So that is going to, either you like it or not, you are going to know Boomplay. That's how a lot of people are registering on it. So imagine what could happen if a streaming platform pitches to, like, you know, Showmax. Last year there was an announcement that Netflix would come on Showmax. Imagine if an Apple Music, for example, pitches to Motolani. Okay, what we are going to do is we are going to bring maybe one of our shows, say Africa Now, put it on Showmax, right? But what we are going to do is we are going to then air. We can then stream Big Brother live on Apple Music at this time. But we are going to make sure that anybody that wants to watch it on some of these channels, they're going to have to subscribe before they do it. It's not exactly clear, but imagine what that exchange could do. It could really do something. So I think people just have to get creative. It's not impossible. You just have to think outside the box. And imagine what streaming platforms could also do with brands. Imagine what a streaming platform could do with the Pepsi. It's not reasonable. It might not be practicable, but imagine the possibilities. Imagine if you're partnering with Pepsi, say maybe during the Pepsi ad, what you're doing is the streaming platform that someone is scrolling through is Apple Music or Boomplay or YouTube Music. Those things, the brand placement is brand awareness for you as well. So it's about thinking outside the box, and that's fascinating.